problem in this country with people not knowing much. And I'm going to give you an example which came to my attention. Last summer, not 2008, 2007, I was the co-host of a very deep intellectual complex show on a very deep intellectual complex network called VH1. And the show was a very, very deep show, was called America's Most Smartest Model. And I was the co-host along with an extremely tall woman, and we took about 16,000 young men and women who volunteered to be on the show. They called themselves models. I mean, there are laws in this country, so they can't call themselves hookers. And we winnowed them down to 16, 8 men and 8 women. And we asked them questions on the show, such as, what is the official language of Australia? Every single one of them said Australia. Not English? No, Australian. Not one of our top 16, our 16 smartest out of 16,000, not one of them could name 5 rivers in the United States. So one day, while we were making this show, we were finished up shooting for a few hours, and we were all sitting out in the beautiful Southern California sunshine. And I went up to 2 of the contestants who'd just been booted off the show and were waiting for their van to take them to oblivion. And I said to them, well, we've really enjoyed having you on the show. We'll miss you. And they said, well, we love being on the show. And it's so amazing, Ben, you know so much stuff. And I said, well, I'm a lot older than you. It would be expected that I would know a lot more than you. And they said, well, how old are you? And I said, well, let's figure it out. I said, I was born in November of 1944, and it's now August of 2007. How old am I? We don't know. Well, we're not in any hurry. Take your time. We'll figure it out. Nope, we can't figure it out. Okay, well, I'm 62. Ooh, wow. Okay, I said, here's an easy question for you. Who was president when I was born? Abraham Lincoln. No, not Abraham Lincoln. Guess again. Franklin. No, they couldn't think of the rest of his name. Okay, I said, no, you were almost there. You're almost there. What was the rest of his name? Benjamin Franklin. No, he was never president. Okay, let's try again. Ronald Reagan. No, you were closer the first time. We don't know. Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Oh, we've heard of him. We've heard of him. Great that you've heard of Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Both these kids were students at USC, by the way. So I said to them, all right, here's another one for you. When I was born, there was a big event raging all around the world. What was it? We don't know. Okay, I'm going to make it really simple. It was a conflict, it was worldwide, and it was not the first of its kind. What could it have been? What could it have been? We don't know. Okay, well, think about it. It was a war. Civil War. No, not the Civil War. It was World War II. Oh, we've heard of that. Great that you've heard of World War II. All right, here's a simple one for you. Who did we fight against in World War II? So there's a young man and a young woman I was talking to. The young man says, Germany. Right. I said, very good. We fought against Germany. Very good. Who else did we fight against in World War II? The young woman raised her hand. Russia. No, I said, Russia was on our side in World War II, and a damn good thing, too. So she says, Germany. I said, no, your friend just said Germany. You can't say it twice. Okay, the young man thinks for a minute. I said, can you get it? And he says, Germany. I said, no, you've already said Germany 3 times now. I said, look, I'm going to make it really simple for you. We fought the Second World War in the European theater of operations and in the Pacific theater of operations. Who did we fight against in the Pacific? Young man, very enthusiastically, says, Germany. No, I said, Germany isn't in the Pacific. Young woman, very enthusiastically, says, Russia. No, I said, I've already told you this. I'm going to make it very simple for you. It's an island nation, and it makes very good quality cars. Young man says, Germany. No, I said, not Germany, Japan. So the young woman says, we fought a war against Japan? Who won? So anyway, so then I said to the It's actually a better question than she knew. Anyway, then I said to them, I was trying to be polite to them. I said, well, maybe I just know more about this because I grew up in and around Washington, D.C., and there's a lot of history in Washington, D.C., and maybe it's just, I just absorbed it that way. So the young woman says, oh, Washington, D.C., where it rains all the time, and they have those big trees. And I said, no, that's Washington State. And she said, well, what's the difference? And I said, Washington, D.C. is the nation's capital, and it's a little enclave between Maryland and Virginia, and it does have some trees, but it's nothing like the big trees in the Pacific Northwest where Washington State is, which has lots of really enormous trees near the coast. The young woman says, what's the difference again? What are we going to do with young people like this? Anyway, and the media feeds this relentlessly by saying,